All right. Um, oops, there we go. Uh, there we go. Okay, so we are in, and I just need to do one more thing. Okay. And I am calling this the Inception dive. If you've seen the movie Inception, they keep going into the dream and they keep diving deeper and deeper and deeper. If you haven't seen the movie Inception, no worries. They keep going into the next dream, into the next dream, into the next dream. So we're going to kind of do that with our practice today. Um, it is just past the solstice. It's between Christmas and New Year's. So it's like in that middle time where it's really good to go in. There's not a lot in the outer world to be done usually in this time. So really coming in and then going in deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper is the invitation. So, and let's say coming into our body mind, with body being primary and mind being secondary. So I'm going to start actually today laying down on the floor. And I also feel like it's the end of the year. Like this is really the time to rest deeply in the darkness as the winter comes on. So, invitation, lay down or sit if you want to be seated, that's totally fine. And just come into the feeling of the gravitational pull of the earth connecting you to the planet. We can find the ground very easily when we feel into gravity. We can feel what down is. So there's a lot of intelligence in that within our bodies of, oh, this is the floor, this is underneath me. I can feel the difference between up and down, the heavens and the earth. And I'm coming into the earth, nestling into the earth, feeling into the breath, inviting your senses to really come online. So the sense, particularly the sense of movement in your body, the sense of touch and sensation in your body, but maybe it's also the sound, and maybe it's best to close our eyes if we really want to go in, but open them whenever you want to. So all the senses coming online. And I think we'll start with really, really slowly just pouring your body a little bit from side to side. As you breathe, just letting yourself, it can be a small little pour, which is just the turning of your head. So you're pouring the water in your body very slowly from one side to the other. Feeling the inner body and maybe the surface of your body as well, just moving from side to side. I'm going to get my assistant here helping me feel the sensation of gravity on the earth. So my rolling isn't going to be very big right now because I've got Gaylord here to help me sense gravity and sense weightedness. But I can think that just my head going from side to side, letting my neck and shoulders really relax. And even within that, deep inside my body, my whole spinal cord, my whole spine, getting the rippling effect of this movement down my whole body. So it could be big if you want to go big, make big rolling from side to side. But if you just want to be small, let it be small. Let it be small and gentle. Giving yourself full permission to come into a resting state. So it might be that you don't want to move at all, and that's totally fine. So permission granted to receive this in whatever way feels best in your body mind. And because my hips are feeling tight, I took a pull class yesterday. I'm going to roll more since I have released the Kraken off of me. Gaylord is now off to the side. So if you feel like it's in the realm, in the spectrum of capacity to do, let your rolling be really bigger from side to side. So the tissue in your back body, the bone, the fluids, the fascia, even the organs get to settle in as you roll slowly from side to side, or even as you just lay there. And it could be a spiral, or it can be like a whole right versus left sort of homolateral rolling pattern, one side versus the other side, or twisting, or a combo platter of all of that stuff. So letting it land, letting your body move or be in stillness, but feeling this relationship to the earth, this relationship to the planet, letting your awareness kind of sink into that connection with the earth. We can imagine our bone weight getting very heavy and sort of dropping down, and then the muscles, the fluids, the fascia, all the things inside of our body, the contents, relaxing a little bit more. So we're going into this softness in our body, maybe softness in our experience. So from here, now that we've kind of come in a little bit, let's add the theta breath, just a soft hiss. So it's like a soft hiss, as if your steam is releasing from the radiator. You could even imagine your whole body sort of deflating and coming closer to the ground, right? When a tire gets flat, it comes down to the ground. So imagining yourself with that exhale, like just coming in closer, like you're letting your body slightly deflate, but not in a depressing way, in a letting go way. Taking resting breaths whenever you want, just allowing your breath to really feel like what feels good to you. So we're not trying to do any heroic breathing where we're extending our exhale forever, or we're not trying to prove anything with the breath. It's not an ego moment, it's just a sensing moment. Allowing that sort of exhale deflation to be the first entrance into this inception dive where we're going into that letting go. So I was rolling and I felt like, oh, I really need to move. And then once I added that exhale with the theta breath, I was like, oh, I can just stay here for a while before I move again, letting the movement of the breath and the sort of deflation just drop me down into the earth. So instead of being with the pouring, the water in my body, I'm letting the air out, and that sinks me deeper. So these are two ways of connecting into that gravitational pull of the earth, nestling into the planet. We're inviting the doing part to sort of let go, and we're just in the experiencing part. So we don't have to push any of this. We're simply allowing it to happen. It may be, partway nudge, partway let go, or it may be just, oh, it's just happening, which is great. If you can go to that point, just let the things happen. Let your brain and your mind and your thinking just take a step back as we come into sensation and breath and the fluids, letting the elements sort of take over. Inviting any tension patterns in your body to loosen up, softening and melting with the breath, with the release of air, and with the fluid flow of movement. When we let go of inhibiting our movement, like learning to be still, learning not to move, learning to be specific, and when we sort of allow our body to let go of that inhibition, easy movement can start, or I don't know, maybe it's not easy, fluid, natural movement can start to arise because it feels good in in your body. So you're not forcing it out in any way, you're just allowing it to come through. So it's like you're encouraging your body to be like the one of those paintings where there's water and they just drop paint on the water and the paint moves around. Let your body be like that. And then you put the paper on top of that, right? Let your body be the paint in the water, allowing it to move in whatever way feels delicious. Working a little bit more with the theta breath if that feels okay. So we get that air relaxation of the breath just melting into the floor, dropping down, dropping in. And the question is, what can I let go of now? Is there anything in there to let go of as I land on the support, the natural resource of the earth underneath me, right? The fluids in my body, the air, the breath, the warmth of the fire within me, the life force. So something I like to play with is just seeing how small I can move and still sense movement. Like could be my head turning from side to side. As I do that and I go smaller and smaller, I start to feel little patterns that I can release. Oh, there's a little bit of tension there. I can become softer. So seeing if you can move into really small micro movement where you can feel that movement is happening. And I don't mean movement like just the breath, or it could just be the breath, but I mean like really, can I move smaller? Can I move smaller? In your head turning from side to side or up and down, or your jaw opening and closing really small. But can I move smaller and still feel that I'm moving? Diving into that micro movement layer, which may feel like a flow. Inviting our awareness fully into our experience of being in this moment, in this body, on this planet. And as you're there, let's go into the next layer of this inception meditation, movement meditation. See if you can go deeper into your experience. Can I go deeper? Then we're not stopping movement, we're not inhibiting, we're allowing. So if your body wants to shift and adjust, let it do that. There's no right or wrong here. Let go of any attachment to getting it right or having it be good. Let go of perfectionism, just letting yourself dive down into experience. Is there a center to the experience? And if you feel like you've found a center and it's like in your head or in your gut body or in your heart, see if you can go deeper. If you find a center, go deeper. Allowing movement. Or stillness. Allowing stillness if that feels good. If you're kind of shut down in your body and or you feel like you're really up in your head, bring some movement in and feel the sensation. So we're not trying to shut anything down. We're trying to just invite it into experience. We're trying to be present with our body, mind. And if thoughts are coming through, if you're having a whole story going on, let that be there, but just don't give it much attention. Come back to physical sensation. If you can't feel some part of your body, wiggle it a little bit, move it a little bit, connect it to a surface. You will always be in your body for the rest of your life. So, this is just an opportunity to dive into presence in your body without judging it, without needing it to be different, just allowing yourself to experience the sensations of being a body mind. Right here, right now. And let's ask the question again, can I go deeper into this experience? And I am going to add music. And this will be Jeff Gersh. And it's Ambient Fields, album one, song one. Turn it down a little bit. Invite your experience to contact the spaciousness of being, even if you're a little cat. And let the spaciousness of the music really enter into your experience, enter into your body. So this layer, diving into the spaciousness of being, Just sensing it can be hugely spacious. Letting yourself go deeper into the sort of fallow darkness, or I don't know, that's not the right way of saying it, the emptiness or the nothing to hold on to ness of the moment. Nothing to do here. Simply resting in your own open awareness. And maybe there's movement happening, maybe there isn't. Inviting your whole self into the experience. Everyone, every part of you is welcome. There's room for all of you in this spaciousness, every little bit. And there's nothing to hide here. And there's nowhere to hide. So it's all here together and it's all accepted and welcomed in. There is no need to hide. Just asking yourself, can I go deeper into this experience of spaciousness? But if you do feel resistance and you want to push against it, go for it. You can do that too. Can you go deeper into your experience of being? Letting go of anything sticky or grippy. If any part of you is holding on, can you just release that? Let it go, soften. the undoing, untangling, unfolding, spaciously unfolding. I just have this funny image of clearing out the cobwebs in my experience, clearing out the spaciousness so that there is room and I can be and see and feel all the things without having to hide it or obfuscate or deny what's actually happening. And clearing out the cobwebs in your relationship to yourself. Accepting yourself with kindness, even the parts you might not like very much. Asking yourself, can I go deeper in acceptance? Can I let go of my own resistance to life? Resistance to the what is? Can I go deeper into acceptance and equanimity? Is there something I'm holding on to that I can let go of? Can I go deeper into the truth of my own being? The truth that I know on a body level. Can I go into that truth? Effortlessly present in the space. Right? You don't have to do anything to be here. You're here. It is your birthright. allowing the organism of your body mind to have this biomorphic experience of being, right? Just breathing is biomorphic. It's shifting and changing, and it's biological morphology. We're moving biology, moving, shifting, changing in every moment, whether we want to or not. Can I accept this experience more fully? Can I participate more fully in my experience of being a body mind on the planet right now? For right now, this is what we have to work with. Right? For our whole lives, this is what we have to work with. So if we work with it, if we find ways to work with it that are more skillful, more inclusive for our experience, more inclusive for ourselves, for ourselves, what happens then? Back to that idea of the paint on water, right? If I embrace that sort of concept in sensation and in feeling of this biomorphic shifting and changing, it's really like that paint on water, right? We can see how it swirls and spirals in these fractal patterns. So that is very much what my experience of being feels like often. The old school visualizer on iTunes is a good image to work with, if you know what that is, to find that sort of fractal nature of this continual ongoing movement and what it can, or sort of how it's playing out on an elemental level within our systems, right? The fluids, the prana or the shakti or the chi, like the things, all of these conceptual ideas of being. Experiences. So when I spend time in this kind of rolling around on the floor, in my experience, in my body mind, like it tends to release a lot of stuckness and also like bring on the fluids of my body, more capacity for healing, for integration. And also, I'm down regulating my system. And that is where all processing takes place: rest and digest, soothe and settle. If we're highly activated and in that sympathetic state, a lot of the time, we don't give our body the chance to process, right? We need to sleep. We need to eat good food. We need to let our bodies also dial down and process what's going on in our lives, what we're eating, what's happening. But it doesn't have to be a mental, thought process. It can happen a lot on a physical level if we just can get slowed down and also like letting the fluids renegotiate the inner spaces so that our fascia, our bones, our organs are getting this internal massage and movement as well as while we're in this very parasympathetic down regulated state. A place for healing our hearts, healing our guts, healing our minds, healing our being. Can I go deeper and let go of more of the stuff? And if we do it quickly, that can be destabilizing. So it's also nice to let these processes be slow and take time. And this is just one piece of the whole picture, right? Like these practices are just one piece. What else needs to happen in the ecology of practices in our process of being humans on the planet, living our lives with all the other creatures, with all the other elements, or the elements within us and outside of us as we share them with each other. I'm just going to turn off the music and give us a couple more minutes in silence, processing the processing in whatever way feels good. One more layer of, is there anything to let go of? And can I just go deeper into being? And there may be movement or stillness. Maybe there's some unwinding in your nervous system. Just know that if it does start to do some Kriya-like stuff, if movement starts to come up, always know that you can stop it. So we don't want to get like too spastic with it. Let yourself control it enough that it's still fluid and harmonious. glasses. Gonna close out the live stream if you made it in or if you make it in at some point. Thank you so much for joining. And that's it.